Yo, what's up, everyone? Yo, man, I got the man in the building, JP Pena, my brother.
What's up,
How are
bro?
you, dude?
Good, man. Hey,
Dude,
thanks for having me.
hey, man, I appreciate you coming through, man. You were just in Chino, right? And you're in the area?
Yeah, dude, it's funny. I know we've been trying to connect, and it's crazy with this whole madness going on. And I appreciate you not spraying me with Lysol when I came in, by the way. So, but
I was
that's
thinking about it kind of like, you know how you walk in and like sports events, like, it's like all the smoke and stuff?
dude. True story. There's agents out there. I'm in the real estate business, right?
Yeah.
There's agents out there that are taking this way too far.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago, we literally got sprayed
Yeah.
by Lysol, and it's the same person that the glove she's wearing bites it and removes it with her mouth.
Oh, my gosh.
So I'm like, how the hell does that make sense?
Yeah.
So either we got to be more direct on how some people protocol in regards to using some of these items.
Yeah.
Because quite frankly, I think some agents are stupid out there.
Yeah.
Dude, it's insane.
It's like those people who have a mask, but then they have a hole because they feel like they can't breathe.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah, man. We're living in interesting times, and I was just having this conversation before we started the recording that JP actually, guys, is actually the first in-person interview or podcast recording, because I like to do it in person, that I have. And I'm just so happy because like I've missed this, man. I miss, like, we spoke about that in-person conversations, just raw and real. But dude, there is a lot of stuff, if you don't mind, I just want to talk about it because I haven't been able to speak about. There's just so much going on with the world, man, And it's like you said, there's kind of like this lack of knowledge, kind of a lot of words going around, attacking, and it's kind of weird because I think this about me. I'm a registered nurse. I've been doing it for like 10 years, right? So a part of me, of course, being I like to do my own research too, and I'm very perspective. There's a side of me that's kind of like, man, this thing is out of hand, right? How we're trying to be controlled, how we're shutting down, all this stuff. But at the same time, as a nurse too, I see what my colleagues go through, and they actually see it up front. Like,
Correct.
the frontline workers, I guess you could say, right? They call them
Yeah.
essential workers, which, by the way, I think everyone's an essential worker, right?
Correct.
And it's crazy because, like, I'm, like, stuck in the middle. Like, I understand, like, the need to kind of have some control, but at the same time, when is it too much control?
Correct.
You know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
look at, for example, July 4th now.
Yeah.
Everything being shut down. And if you go back to this whole movement that we've recently just had, there's an interesting report that just came out, and I think it was one of the news stations that put it out, that some of the sheriff department saying, hey, we're low on force now. But there's no way we could go out to the beaches and also enforce people not showing up and also locking them up since we're short on funds, since we don't have this ability now. But yet you guys are now requesting even more authority over people who just want to go out. And I get it. I understand both sides. Like you said, hey, there's an health aspect that I'm sure you're more aware of than I am. What do I know? I'm just jarhead Marine that's just stubborn. But
You're just JP,
Yeah.
You're just JP.
but I respect people's decisions as well. Hey, if you want to wear a mask outside, do whatever you want. Hey, that's your life. You don't want to do it. I think there's a proper way to kind of put that out there and how to go about it. You don't have to be a complete dick or an asshole. If you want to go out there and still enjoy time, I think you should be able to. I don't think that the government should restrict you from that. And at the same time, if we're taking funds from people that are supposed to police that and then expect them to go out there and do their job, I mean, that's just another issue. So, I mean, it's definitely interesting times that we're in, and it's going to get a lot more interesting to come. So,
It's like, so it's like people are demanding this from the police, but then they're getting their resources are kind of being taken away. So it's kind of like where's the middle ground? You know what I'm saying?
And well, one funny thing that I just read this morning was, since they're now going to authorize the community, responders, to go out and handle certain situations. And the comment said, hey, well, for July 4th, the beaches are going to be closed, so we're going to expect the community responders to go out and police that. And then one of the guys says on the bottom, community responders, oh, no, we had the long weekend off. So, and I'm just like, well, that's exactly what's going to happen, man.
Yeah.
And
I respect everyone's like thoughts and opinions, and who knows, like I'm not no police official, I'm not no police like leader, right? But it's kind of, I saw a meme too, I thought that was funny, where there was a 911 call, and then they're like, hey, we need help, and then like it's like that person that takes the call, but then like the police are in the background, and the police like go on the phone and it's like, we're sending prayers your way.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. I mean, look, man. I'll tell you this much, bro. And I mean, I was in the Marines, right?
Yeah.
and I seen different aspects of civilization acting in different ways. Am I pro war? No, I'm not pro war. But I do feel that there's always going to be private agendas. There's always going to be certain people that want to overpower certain things. They're going to have a different point of view. Power is a fucking crazy thing, bro. And we've seen that throughout many countries that have started with a great vision and have ended in something bad. Like in Cuba, for example, Fidel, if you really read the history of Fidel, he was not that bad of a person when he started. Educated, had some great visions for Cuba. It's when he got that power that things just changed. It's sort of like that greed, that ego now, that overpowering of I need to control everything. I feel it's exactly what happened to Iraq. And this is a discussion that might go different ways. I mean, that's a Middle Eastern, been in war for ages, years, even before we can. But when I showed up there, man, and you're riding through the 7 ton, through the desert, and you're seeing kids without arms, without legs, swimming, drinking from the same water that somebody down the street is showering, taking a shit on.
Yeah.
That's when you really start thinking like, holy shit, man. There has to be some sort of control, some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Because if not, this is what happens. You either have filthy rich, somebody that's going to overpower everything, have it their way, and then whoever's not with that, you're going to be down here.
And that's why we got laws, right? I mean, that's why we have to have control. There has to be laws in place, right?
100%, man.
Yeah.
100%. And it takes us to also get involved. Perfect example is, I remember I asked, I think it was one of the first protests we had, I would say about a year ago or 2 years ago. I can't quite remember. And I seen this gentleman, and I remember I just put down my window. I was on Sunset, and I said, hey, so what are you protesting for? He couldn't answer the question. He said, well, I'm just here because police brutality. Okay, great. But what do you want out of this? What's the outcome? Well, we need to do this and fire all the cops and da-da-da-da. And just, so I'm like, well, that's the same idiot that has no contribution to the world, to the city, most likely never showed up to any vote for LA Council or anything that has to do with budget distribution, most likely doesn't even know what a vote ballot looks like, yet knows who's a candidate aside whatever his friends influence him to believe. They're fucking people that don't pay taxes, yet they go out there and create this anarchy that makes their own personnel look bad. And listen, I'm all about, if you want to go out there and speak your right, that's what the Second Amendment's for. Or the First Amendment. Go out there and do it. That's
Second Amendment too, brother.
That's Second Amendment. That's a whole different thing. That's your First Amendment right. But have a reason behind it, right? It's like, if I'm going to go out there, hey, I do believe that, some cops have gone overboard. I mean, look at the situation with that gentleman and the knee and the head. I think that was fucked up. There's no need for that, man. The guy's on the floor already. He's down. And if he clearly can't breathe, and I do jiu-jitsu, bro, you put somebody on a lock like that, dude, he's fucked. So it's just common sense, right? And I have a lot of my cop friends that feel the same way. I mean, there was a meme on Pornhub that said one cop fucked 65 million other cops, and they have the picture of this guy on it. And I thought it was hilarious. But it's true, this guy fucked a lot of people because of that one decision. But the right approach to do it, man, is how about we actually put a proposal? How about as a community we come together and say, how can we also police our own people? Because it's our own people also doing the damage. The Latinos, the blacks, everybody else that's out there, the gang members that are causing the chaos, but yet want to participate when they supposedly want to protest. But what they're really doing is giving that same people that bad reputation, and it's not helping at all.
Yeah. And it's just like, again, like one bad cop doesn't represent the whole force.
100%.
Right. Just like one protester doesn't represent all bad, like these rioters and all that other stuff.
100%, man.
And it's crazy because I feel like anytime we go through something, like, I don't even want to say monumental, just something big like this, where like it really challenges people's thinking. It's like people start to abandon that thinking process and that logic to think for themselves. Like, why do I feel this way? Like, it challenges me in my thoughts and my beliefs and my morals and all that stuff. But, like exactly what you said, like, am I just jumping on the bandwagon? Do I just want to be involved? Oh, I see everyone protesting. Let me get in there.
It's a cool thing to do. Let me go do it.
Yeah. And it's just, it's unfortunate because it's not helping. You know what I'm saying? It's not fostering a solution.
It's not.
And, yeah, man. So, but dude, JP, man, I admire you. I got a lot of respect for you, man. Family man. You're a veteran, and we thank you for your service. And now you are the #1 real estate advisor in LA, correct?
Correct.
So talk to me, man. What did that look like? Like, let's get a little background of your story there was no question. Any friend of Roland Vandenberg, shout out to him, is a friend of
My
mine.
boy Roland.
And I know that you're a part of his Operation Jump 22 as well. But yeah, tell me about yourself. Where did you grow up? How did what was military life like, and how did you transition to where you are today?
Dude, definitely, man. So look, it's gonna get good right now. I hope you guys got your popcorn ready and your tequila and
I
sit
hope my
down.
battery don't die, bro.
This is gonna be about better than Netflix right now.
Hell yeah.
You know what, bro? It's crazy, man. And
And by the way, guys, I'm learning all about JP right now too, because we've connected on social media. We've done a few things together already, but dude, I'm learning about JP just like you guys right now.
perfect. It's crazy, man. It's one of the things that I always sort of tell myself as I sleep, and this is a true story, by the way. I always sort of debrief myself on everything I do in life, what I accomplished today, the week, the month, 5 years from now, where I was. I'll have current shots of when I was small, what I thought, what I dreamt, because I'm nowhere close to where I want to be. I'll tell you that right now.
Of course, yeah.
Dude, I'm far beyond that. And for me, it's blessed to be here and speak because you have had some great names. I mean, Bedro, where did Bedro sit?
Huh? Oh, actually, I went to him.
Oh, you went to
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
dude, it looked like the same setup. Anyways, Sharon, my boy, who's a mentor of mine, and I always been that one person that I always felt that I shouldn't share anything until I achieve that big goal.
Same,
Like,
yeah.
it's like not even worth it. Don't even do it. And I always had that mentality for the longest. And it wasn't until a good friend of mine, Jay Glazer, Fox Sports at MVP, one day he sort of put me on a tough situation. And then I'm a very tough person to get uncomfortable because I like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But certain personal things I don't like to touch. And I'll eventually get into this. And
Like conversation wise, like digging
no,
deep a
not
little
conversation wise, more of experiences.
bit? Okay, gotcha.
And since then I have been able to open up more about it. But it was him that said you gotta embrace your injuries, man, your cuts, that thing that hurts the most, embrace it and share it. Because you don't know who you might share it with that's gonna change their life.
Yeah, vulnerability, right?
Dude, 100%.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to understand that. And the more I sort of replayed that over my head, I started opening up in a lot of the things that I saw growing up. And one of the things that a lot of people don't know about me that they see, they're like, dude, you're always fucking energetic. Your videos are just like, holy shit, I read in the morning, like, what the hell? It's like Ali, you look at Ali, it's like, I honestly think Ali never fucking sleeps.
Yeah.
And if he does, that
Yeah.
dude's fucking screaming at the night, like, woo, or something like
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, that guy's on one, right? Well, it's not always like that. And it's one of the reasons why I started my podcast on Fuck Yourself, because I said I want people to start sharing the bullshit they're going through, the obstacles right now currently, because success is not always about the nice car, all this great shit. It's about some of the fucking crazy shit you got to deal with. And we want to know about that now at the raw, and then let me know what's coming up next.
By the way, guys, I'm gonna put that the link to his podcast on the description notes.
Yeah. So my story starts in 1983 in Central America, El Salvador, bro. In fact, I was born the day that, are you Catholic?
Yes.
So El Papa Juan Pablo, John Paul II,
Okay.
was literally going through the hospital when I was born.
Wow.
And so that's why my mom called me John Paul.
Okay.
I was born there. This is during the time that in El Salvador they had the whole guerrilla fighting and all that stuff. And what I briefly remember about that is I was at a shed. I want to say it was my grandmother or something. I can't quite recall. And I haven't had this conversation with my mom. But she had left us, so she came to the States. I was there, and some guy showed up from the bushes. Where she lived at, it was like a shack. And right there, you don't have a house. It's no stuck or nothing. It's basically wood and some kind of like aluminum shingle. That's it. That's your house, right? And a hole where you would go out and take a shit. And so I remember I'm playing there in the dirt, and all these guys just come out of the cafetales. That's where they make the coffee, you know. Everything behind us was nothing but coffee, like trees, beans, and all this stuff, right? And they come out, they had guns. And I remember them pointing at her, and then she started making tortillas for them. And they sat around me, and they're all eating tortillas, and I remember them throwing them to me, and they would fall on the ground. I'll pick it up and eat it. Like, I don't know what was going on. I remember seeing this. Shortly after that, I hear a bomb go off, and we run to the bottom, and there was a bus that was taking off, and it was the guerrilleros that blew up a bus. Wow. And that's sort of when my mom said, screw that, we're taking them. She came to El Salvador and brought me here. So I grew up in Hollywood, California, right off of Sunset, right before you get to Gower by the Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. I'll never forget that. We used to live in the back of a liquor store. It
Wow.
was a studio, which was the most craziest studio because they had made a studio into a 2 bedroom.
Mm.
So a studio would probably be like this size,
Yeah.
and it was 2 bedrooms in there.
Dang.
So pretty crazy, right?
The studio's not that big, by the way. Just let everyone know. Yeah, yeah. Looks like it,
so,
but
so we had my aunt, my mom, my sister, and I sleeping there, and we would get up every morning at around 3:30 in the morning. My mom used to clean homes all over Beverly Hills, Malibu, and all that. We used to catch the number 4 bus. I remember that, and we would always stop at the McDonald's right before you get to Santa Monica. And one of the reasons why I think that money made an impact on me was because of this. I used to fucking hate sharing my fucking McDonald's with my sister. I used to get mad, bro.
yeah.
It'd be like, hey,
He's like, yo, no one can touch my Happy Meal.
dude. It'd be like we don't have enough, so it'd be like half a pancake for you, half a pancake for you, and I'd be like, why? Like,
Yeah.
I want my own fucking pancake, right?
Yeah.
And so it's crazy because later on in the story you'll see why that sort of like stuck with me. But yeah, that was growing up, man, and my mom would, I was blessed to see these amazing homes. I won't mention some of the realtors' names that I would see up there because they're still in business, and I'm like, wow, that's fucking a long time ago. But yeah, dude, I would touch these homes, and that was sort of my first introduction into tasting the dream and seeing something bigger. Although my parents would always say, well, yeah, you could always get there if you work hard. You got to go to school. You got to do all this. That was sort of what started getting in my head. Like, okay, I got to go to school. I got to work hard. I got to go to school. And I soon realized school wasn't for me. I fucking hated school. I got kicked out of pre-kinder for throwing a block into a kid's head. I got kicked out of, I think it was kindergarten because I grabbed the girl's ass. And then first grade, I got in a fight with my teacher.
Wow.
So yeah, I was
Just school wasn't for you.
dude. School was not for me, dude. I couldn't, man. And then growing up, I remember that was a struggle, and but seeing all these homes, I used to love. Like I used to love going to work with my mom because, dude, I would show up, the sellers would be there, and the owners, and they'll take me on their nice cars all through Malibu, and I'm talking like convertibles at the time, Ferraris, all this stuff, and I'm experiencing this as a kid,
Yeah.
In fact, there was I don't know if you remember All for One, 90s.
Oh yeah, of course. R&B? Oh,
Dude.
dude, classic,
So my
bro.
mom was at the studio, or at the guy's studio's house, who was mastering their album, and they show up. And this is when
Damn.
I Swear
Yeah.
by the Moon had just came out, and he's scoring this, like mastering it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm listening to him, like, dude, this sounds like the song I hear every morning on MTV.
Yeah.
And the dudes come in,
Yeah.
and they take me to downtown. So I go to downtown with them while they're actually shooting part of the video there.
Wow.
And I got to experience this whole thing. So I'm like, wow, dude. So my childhood growing up was amazing in that aspect, bro. I enjoyed it. I got to see amazing stuff. Malibu, Beverly Hills. I mean, I would always draw these homes because I would say, dude, one day I'm going to fucking own a house like this.
Yeah.
And to this day, I still have those drawings and I show them to my kids. And I'm like, wow, like I sold homes even 10 times bigger than this now.
Yeah.
And it was all because of that. But it wasn't always like that. Here's the caveat. My dad was a bit different. My dad, aside of being very strict, had a different role. He was the disciplinary. He was things have to be a certain way.
Yeah.
He's the one that sort of built that insecurity in me because everything I did was never good enough.
Yeah.
And he would tell me,
My
like,
dad, my dad too. Same thing.
dude.
Yeah.
So I remember, for example, never went to my taekwondo tournaments. I would get first place, and I'll show up, and he's just like, you could have done better.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, dude, I fucking got first place. I got all these gold medals. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You could have done better.
It's like it's not enough. It's
So it
never
started
enough.
mind fucking me, bro. I always questioned how good I was. And I
Yeah.
started getting scared. For the first time, I was scared. And I remember that one time I showed up to training, and they put me up against this black belt guy, this Armenian guy. This guy was fucking good. And I sit there, and I'm like, shit, I'm actually scared. I felt that, like, knob in my stomach, the knob in my throat. And that fucked me up so bad that the next thing I know, this guy had his feet on my face, knocked me out. I was bleeding, and I started crying. And my coach got up. He goes, "What the fuck? Why are you crying? You never cried, JP. Why this? Nobody's ever done this to you. What's wrong?" I was like, "I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared. Like I don't want to fight him.
Yeah.
I'm scared." And that's when I started breaking down and having more insecurities in myself. I started questioning a lot of things. And when I went to high school, I went straight to varsity. Soccer I was always really good at. And I remember that the first games, and I would tell him and share him, he would always say, it was not good enough. It's not good enough. And then I started showing up to the games, repeating that in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
Right? And I would fuck up.
It like almost brainwashed you.
Dude, it would brainwash it. So, subconsciously, I was fucking redirecting my mindset somewhere else and my energy, everything, right? So that fucked me up a lot growing up. And it's something that I didn't share with a lot of people. I kept to myself. And I wish I could have changed things differently because I would have done different things and accomplished a lot more. But it also cost me to sort of bubble up.
Mm-hmm.
Bubble up. There was that outgoing person that I was, that sort of like risk taker, sort of everything stopped. And that's why I decided to join the Marines, because I said, fuck that. Well, if I join the Marines, I'm going to get away. It's going to be a fresh start. I don't have to deal with anything else.
Yeah.
It's just going to be fucking, amazing. And you would see the commercials with the fucking Marine running through the fucking volcano, and then a fucking dragon comes up and the dude slays the dragon. I said, yeah, that's going to be fucking me, right?
Yeah.
And so I joined the Marines. I didn't even tell my parents. I actually forged their signature. When I was 17 years old, I passed the test, and right before when they were going to send me, they're like, wait a minute, like, your parents never signed this.
Oh, they figured it out.
Yeah,
They
so
caught you.
So I got in trouble, and they said that I would never join the fucking military, and I remember I was fucking pissed. I got in trouble when I got home. When I turned finally 18, I sort of wiggled my way. That's the one thing I always been able to do, bro, is sort of buy my way out of situations, or sort of fucking make shit work. And yeah, I was able to sign up and pass the test, and then was on my way until September 11 happened, and they said, screw reserving, and screw you going as a reserve. You're actually going to go active duty, and no more school for you. So I ended up doing 8 years active duty.
Damn. So they basically accelerated you.
Yeah, so I was going to go in as a reserve. I had a scholarship to Otis. It's an architectural school in West LA, really good, pronounced architectural school. And so I had to leave all that to join the Marines.
Mm-hmm.
But right before I left, and this is like where it's a game changer, because if any of you guys ever have any issues, parents or whatever, you have to have that one conversation at some point.
Yeah.
It's whether even with a spouse, something's going on. I mean, everybody says communication. It's a lot more easier done than said.
Yeah.
And I remember that when I found out I was leaving to Iraq, and this is after boot camp and all that, and my parents had gotten divorced already. In fact, true story, when I got back from boot camp, I show up to the old apartment that we lived at, and my neighbor comes out and he's all like, hey, bro, your parents got divorced. Nobody lives here no more.
Damn.
And I was just like, fuck, where am I supposed to go?
Yeah, yeah.
And I had my whole bag and everything.
Uh-huh.
And they said, go to your aunt's. So they didn't even fucking tell me.
Damn.
They told my
Like,
neighbor.
surprise.
Yeah. So, dude, I was holding so much resentment. Dude, I was pissed. And so my dad would come, and it was now like, oh, I need you to help me to get back with your mom type thing. So now it's like I'm being seen as the fucking middle person. I hated
You're
that
the mediator.
shit. Yeah, and by that point, their relationship was so abusive. I mean, that's the first time I ever touched my dad, by the way. He was choking my mom out, and I had to knock him out.
Yeah.
And that shit felt bad. You know, it's like, as a kid, you never want to do that. I think I was 17. So there was a lot of that hate already built up with my family and my dad. And so right before I left to Iraq, I said, fuck it. If I'm going to go and I'm going to die, I want to have this conversation with them.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was maybe 19 at the time. And I called him over, showed up to my aunt's house, and I said, we need to talk. And he sat down, and I said, you know what? I hate you. First words that came to my mouth. I said, I hate you.
To both of them, or just your?
No, just my dad.
Just your dad.
My
Okay, gotcha.
I said, I hate you. I said, you have no idea, how you made me feel this whole time. I feel like I didn't have a childhood. I wish you would have been here.
Yeah.
I wish you would have done this.
Just all that inner stuff
All
you've been
that,
holding.
dude, everything,
Yeah,
dude. I just fucking poured it all out. And he just stood there quiet. I remember his leg was shaking, just kind of like up and down. And he was just looking at me. And there's only 2 times I ever seen my dad died. One was when his stepdad passed away. Mm-hmm. He got killed.
2 times he cried.
2 times.
Seems that you've seen him cry. Yeah, okay.
That time and this time.
Yeah, gotcha.
He starts crying. And so I'm like, fuck. Now I'm kind of feeling like shit. I'm like, that. But it felt good to let all that out.
Of course. Yeah.
And then he starts crying and he says, I'm sorry I failed you. Nobody ever taught me love. Mm-hmm. Nobody ever taught me how to be a father. Nobody ever taught me how to be a husband. He goes, I was left out when I was 5 years old, and I had to raise myself.
Yeah.
He goes, everything I did was just to prepare you for life.
Yeah.
Because life is not going to be easy. Life is gonna continue to fucking kick you until you're never good enough.
Powerful, man.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there now like, fuck. To this day, bro, I get fucking
Yeah.
chills.
It's like, oh, that's why. But
dude,
it's like, it's bigger than that, right?
Bro, it was fucking
realization.
It was a game fucking changer because when he said that, I had never given him a hug so strong, and I gave him a hug, and he still cried, and he turned away and just walked away.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, I resent that. Not on him, on my part. Like, I fucked up because he's not here now. He's in El Salvador. He got deported.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I pay for his stuff. I take care of him and all that. But, like, he's never seen my daughter. There's a lot of shit that, but he did his own mistakes. But at the same time, I'm like, fuck, it's like, now that I'm a parent, I'm a husband, a business owner, he was fucking right, man.
Yeah.
Life is fucked up.
Same.
Life is, there's no such thing as a fucking perfect life, bro. It's like, motherfuckers are gonna backstab you, fucking. If you're busy fucking caring what people think, you're gonna be fucked up. Like, you can't be pleasing people. Dude, it's like shit is fucking crazy. So either you fucking figure it out, build some fucking nasty ass calluses, and become a fucking certified motherfucker, or you're gonna get fucked with.
Yep.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
And that's what he was fucking trying to tell me.
Yeah.
He was basically trying to say, listen, I fucked up. I didn't have none of that.
Mm-hmm.
But he used to punish me by making me read books. And I used to hate that shit.
Yeah.
Now it's like when I caught me doing it to my son, I was like, wow, dude, I have read maybe last year a total of over 60 books.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? How crazy is that?
Yeah.
That it used to be a punishment and I enjoy that now.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck that he knew that he would try to tell me? Maybe he didn't tell me the right way. That's the thing. We got to figure it out. That's how we break that cycle, right?
Yeah.
How do we translate it in a way where it makes more sense?
Yeah.
So with my son, what we do now is when we go Barnes and Nobles, I let them choose the books. Let them start reading whatever the fuck they want to read, but at least it's going to at least get them going, right?
Yeah.
We recently built a PC. So I said, hey, maybe we should get a book about how to build a PC. He said, that's a great idea, Dad.
Yeah.
And he went and got it and fucking read the thing, and he was like guiding me on what to do and shit like that, So that's how it starts, bro. And it's crazy because it's different generation, but I admire the fact that he sort of knew about that already. He just couldn't apply it.
Yeah.
He was stuck now. He felt like, fuck, I got a family now. I mean, for me to, and it's crazy because my dad did life insurance. Dude,
crazy.
Fucking true story.
Yeah.
I remember him one day at night, he got dressed up, fucking put on his little booties on. I remember that. And takes me to this place in Glendale. And it was a Prime America thing. And he's all like, one way or another, I'm going to fucking find a way to make money. Mm-hmm. He said this to me. And he didn't speak English good enough. And he would make me try to help him. In fact, I think I even took all his pre-exams for him. And I just didn't. I don't think he ever passed his state exam. But the fact that he even went that far to think outside the box to try to do something, that's impressive now that I look back. Back then, I didn't understand that shit. Back then, I was just like, fuck this guy,
We come to realization always later.
Dude, right? 100%, man, 100%. And it's crazy, bro, because it changes a lot of the way that I try to be a better father today. And, that was one big key factor. I would say that in the book of life, if you look at my life, I have certain tabs on certain things. And I would definitely say that's one of like the first tabs that I have that I could always pull back, look for symbol on it and be like, wow, that was a powerful moment in my life. And I think that that's sort of what sparked the flame of what came after, because ever since that, I mean, I graduated boot camp with honors, School of Infantry with fucking honors. All my promotions were meritorious. That means you're fucking outstanding. Like, you know what the fuck you're doing, right? I had an accident in Iraq where I died for a minute. And, and the fact that I had the courage to fucking get up from that and continue fighting, it was just something that, it's fucked, dude. I think it all started from that conversation. I think that if I would have never had that conversation with my dad, it would have been fucking different.
You probably, hate to say it, but it's almost like you would have died in some shape or form, whether that's in one part of your life, maybe your life in general, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like he's been preparing you for life, like you said, like building that thick skin.
Yeah.
We share something similar. Like my dad was the same. Like you had like this loving mother, it sounds like, right? Yeah. And then you had like this really, really strict dad. And it's the same thing. My dad used to DJ and he would make me MC the party.
Oh, I love that.
And I hated it because these were older folks. Older folks, I'm young. I don't know who they are. I love to party. I love to be around people. But I just don't know his people. And then next thing you know, I'm a fucking podcaster. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, you know what's funny? I love DJing. I grew up, dude, look at my arm. I got music notes everywhere. I started DJing when I was 15 years old. And my dad would hate that. He
Yeah.
would say that if you were a DJ, you were a gangster.
Oh, really?
And I was like, what?
Yeah. How do you put those two together, right?
Dude. Well, I grew up in a really bad area in Hollywood. Where I grew up at is a little street called Little Armenia. Well, it's Artmore, but the little town there's Little Armenia. So on my street, you got the Armenian Mafia. Mm-hmm. On the top, you got Y-Fans, which is the oldest gang in LA. On this side, you have MS-13, which I'm sure you heard of. And on the other side, you got 18th Street.
Dang.
So my fucking route to school was always fucking a mission, bro. Because coming out of this one street where it's ran by the Armenian power, most people think like, well, fuck, a Latino there? What are you, a fucking informant or what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, dude. So like I would run, fucking dodge, fighting. I would constantly be fighting people. In fact, true story, one time a couple of my friends, shout out to Juan and Osmaro, if they ever see this. We started our own little clique called, what was it, Little Crazy Boys or something? It was fucking stupid, bro. So we're thinking we're badass, and we jump our first two initiates, which two Armenian guys. One guy we used to call Tortuga, Turtle. Mm-hmm. He used to have the lip like that, but then this funny guy. And this other guy who was just fucking whatever. This guy just used to like to fight. So we're like, fuck yeah, we're badass, you know, we're fucking da-da-da. And here goes. This goes to tell you that I would never made it as a fucking gangster or fucking anything. This would have been bad. So our first fucking mission, check this out. We actually have a meeting, and our first mission was to at least put we used to go to the post office and get the tags.
Yeah.
The tags. We have to put it on a bus. That was our mission. Like, hey, your fucking mission right now is go fucking put up the neighborhood. Put on a bus. Well, for my lucky ass, the first bus I get in, I put it, two undercovers catch me.
Oh, man.
Dude, so I'm like, fuck. That's the most stupidest shit ever. Then after that, I had to fucking win my way out of that. I told my dad that it was actually a school paper that I got for detention. He signed it, and I got away. I don't know how the fuck I got off that one. Then the other one is like we're thinking bad, and we're trying to ride up on this liquor store by Western, and then two bigger gangsters showed up. And oh my god, dude, I'll never forget this, because the other guy, the leader, this guy was fucking tall, bro. He was maybe 17, but he was tall. He was a tall 17-year-old guy. Maybe probably, I would say 6'2". Mm-hmm. This motherfucker was big. And dude, they made this fool get on his knees, take off his shirt, and take off his pants.
Damn.
And this is the leader, bro. So I'm looking like, fuck, if the leader's on the floor without pants and without a shirt, I'm fucked. Like, fuck this shit, right? I was like, I don't think I want to be a gangster anymore. I remember. I was like, I think I'm going to just fucking stick to soccer, bro. And yeah, dude, so that went real quick, man. But growing up on that fucking era was very tough. But our neighbor was a fucking DJ. And the dude used to dress, you know, baggy pants. That's how it was in the 90s. You know, you had your little Cortezes and your Ben Davises, your Dickies, all that good stuff. But dude, the guy had good music, man. And I had records. So I remember I used to get my records, and I had Stacy Q. I had Grandmaster Flex. I used to have like Humpty Dance, all this stuff. And he would teach me. So where I lived, my building was here, his building was here. I was able to jump from my window to his window.
Oh, nice.
So that's how I used to fucking do it, because my dad every time we go to the front, I'd be fucked, right? So I remember I jumped over, and I'll bring my fucking 3 little records, and he'd be like, all right, look, this is a mixer. This is the turntable. This is how you catch the beat. And I'd be like, oh, shit. And then he would let me record it on the cassettes. So, dude, that whole night, I'll just play it over and over, and I'll be so excited because I'm like, wow, like, I'm fucking in the radio, right? I'm in the fucking stereo.
It's my shit right here.
Yeah. And so I'm a 90s guy. So, obviously, 95, 96, then Hard House started coming in. How old are you?
34.
34. Oh, dude, you're a youngin', bro. Yeah, so I was in that whole era with the whole Rebels and all that, and so I was in a party crew then, and they actually got me to play in a few ditching parties. I don't know if you guys had that back then.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Then I did the arena in Hollywood. That was by far the funnest I ever did. And so yeah, man, I had a good time. I did 96.3.
Nice.
I used to do the Encendido show, so that was good. I did a few clubs, V2Os. Did you ever go to V2Os in Long Beach?
Familiar. I think maybe once or twice.
Yeah, so I did V2Os. What other spot that I did? I did the Florentine Gardens in Hollywood.
Okay.
So oh, and I opened up in Rehab when it first opened up.
Oh, nice.
That was fucking sick, dude.
Oh, I bet, man.
Dude, that was, I mean, although I was the starter, there were still a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And this is when they first started doing the whole freaking NOS shot in the air type thing.
Yeah.
Dude, best experience ever. Even till now, when we go to the clubs, it's funny because my wife's all like, you always get the table next to the DJ just so you could be looking at the DJ.
Just see, like, what's he doing, what equipment.
I'll tell you right now, see, this is the thing. The energy you feel And I spoken in public, dog. I done keynotes. I spoken in front of Congress. I done all this shit. To this day, nothing beats being in front of a DJ booth, dropping a fucking beat, and having the whole energy of the crowd just fucking vibrate back to you.
Yeah,
bro.
because you control it,
Dude,
and you react to
like,
it, and yeah.
Bro, it's like nothing you ever. I think it might be better than sex, to be honest. It's just not fucking good, dude.
I love it.
Yeah,
man, dude. It's almost a DJ, almost a gangster, definitely a veteran, right? You served, and then now real estate. How did that transition happen? Now it's kind of funny. We just identified, and you spoke about your childhood, how you got like a taste and you got exposed to kind of like maybe that life that you always envisioned or wanted, right?
Yeah.
Because you basically came from El Salvador, right? So how did that transition? Like, what got you into real estate?
Well, that's sort of how it all started. Because remember when I would go see these homes and I would fall in love, and some of them were actually developers and flippers. So I would see the transition of how they bought a house, how it looked, and then now, wow, like my mom would go clean it once it was already done. But it's funny because the whole real estate, dude, I got story for days, bro. So this is how real estate started. So after the Marines, obviously after my injury that happened in Iraq, I had 7 surgeries.
Wow.
And I wasn't able to be infantry no more. So they basically said, well, either you become admin or supply. Mm-hmm. 2 of the shittiest jobs you get in the Marine Corps, and not what I signed up for. Like, I was a fucking, remember, I like adrenaline, bro. Like, for me, kicking down doors and feeling bullets fly by my head was fucking exciting.
Yeah, you're a warrior.
Yeah, now I gotta sit down and fucking deal with paper cuts and fucking nonsense. Like, I didn't want that, right? So I offered admin just because it was closer to my house. So I was stationed in Los Alamitos with a unit there, 223, doing the I&I, which basically means that we would train Marines that were reserves and prepare them, like Roland and Adam and all those guys. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were in my unit. So basically, I would prepare all their logistics and all that for them. When they activated to go train, they would have everything settled out. At the time, I was also processing all the UAs, and UAs is people that don't show up anymore. So people that just decide to
like they abandon, or
they abandon.
Okay,
it's called unauthorized leave, right?
Got it.
Absence. Sorry. So worst job fucking ever, by the way, because I didn't like the fact that we had to chase people that didn't want to be here. Mm-hmm. Fuck it, let them go. Like, the last thing I want is be at war and there's a motherfucker next to me that didn't want to be here and is gonna end up fucking shooting me, right? So fuck it. But no, fucking politics of the military is something else. Anyhow, so that's going on, and one of my good buddies goes, UA. And this guy we used to party with, fucking, bring the girls back to the base, fucking, it was my rolling dog. So I'm like, dude, what the fuck's going on? Doesn't show up. Dude has the nerve to show up 2 weeks later on the most sickest Lamborghini I've ever seen in my life. Damn. To the base. This is ballsy, bro. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I could call the sheriffs, right? And fucking get you arrested. He goes, dude, I got a proposition for you. I think you'd be good at this. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, what is it? And I'm like, by the way, this is sick. Can I ride it? He's like, yeah, so I took you on a ride. And he goes, this is how much money I'm making right now. He's like, if you get on this, you're going to fucking make bank. And I was like, all right, tell you what, I'll get rid of you or your UA, and we work something out. And he says, done deal. Mm-hmm. He says, show up to my office this Friday. So that Friday comes, and I'm driving to West Covina for San Bernardino. I pull up, and literally it says wholesale lending, and the lending's crooked, like it's fucking falling from the top of the fucking storefront. There's nothing but sick cars on the parking lot, bro. Like Benzes, Mercedes, BMWs, fucking everything, bro. All the windows are that glass sort of print, so you can't see through it, but it's like that glass reflection. And the first thing I do when I walk in is like to hot chick receptionists. Like, I'm talking like fucking, they look more like strippers than fucking receptionists. And in the whole back, just a fucking straight boiler room. Dude's just fucking calling numbers, just straight digits. And he's like, come all the way to the back, man. You're in the back. You're with the big boys. And I remember walking all the way to the back, and then they opened these 2 huge doors. And now it's a whole different room, bro. Now we're talking about nice fucking flooring, nice fucking mahogany desk, fucking ESPN, fucking stocks on this side. There's some dude gambling with fucking $100 bills. There's another dude getting a fucking suit tailored. There's another dude with stacks of money. And he goes, this is where you're going to be at. So I'm like, what the fuck do you guys do? Is this shit even legal?
Yeah.
And he's like, we do home loans. So I'm like, home loans? I'm like, okay. So he's like, let me introduce you to the manager. And this dude comes out. I remember it's the first time I ever seen a Rolex too. Walks out, fucking big old Rolex, sits there, and he says, "So you want to make money, right?" And I said, "Yeah, I want to make money." He goes, "All right, this is what you do. You see the stack of papers here?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You got to call each one of them. All right, the last four of the socials are there, account numbers are there. Your job is just to convince them to either refinance or take money out of their house." I said, "Well, how hard can that be?" He goes, "All right, here you go, do it." He goes, "And for each appointment you get paid $1,000."
Damn.
So I was like,
just the appointment itself?
just the appointment.
Damn.
So I was like, okay, this sounds pretty good. So, all right, I saw them do it a few times. I said, I could do this shit. Called in that first week, I made $12,000.
Wow.
So I was like, all right, I'm fucking good on the phones.
Yeah.
But it was all basically selling subprime mortgages back then. And what they were getting paid was ridiculous compared to my $1,000 appointment, which I didn't know at the time till after, right? But the thing about me is I've always been that one person that starts asking questions. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't think I'll ever be good in any gray area type business, because I'm that one person that after a while I'll be like, whoa, I don't think that's right. Or I don't think so. Yeah. So that was a short-lived moment, but that's really what started introducing me not only to the real estate side, but also to the hustle. Because I was like, all right, I see how this works, right? Because technically what you would do is like, I would call you AJ, right? And I'll call, you'll answer. Watch, let's play it along so you guys can see how it works, right?
All right.
So ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, is this Ejay Cruz?
This is.
Hey, this is JP with Wells Fargo. I'm calling in regards to your account ending in 4589. I'm just calling you. Have you aware of your new statement and your mortgage statement, the rate proposal that we sent you?
No, not that I remember.
Oh, you didn't? Well, we got this great promotion for you right now. Your account does end at 4585, right?
Yeah.
Great. Can I transfer you to the wholesale department and they'll give you more information?
Yeah, sure.
Put it on hold. Then I'll answer. Wholesale department.
Hey, is this JP? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and then you'd be like, yeah, they just call me because I have the promotion or a rate. I'm like, oh yeah, you actually qualify for a 6% with 100,000 cash out opportunity right now, and it'll be this much that out, or just pitch you whatever. And then you already gave me everything, so I just said, can you confirm your full account number now?
Yeah.
And then now you'll confirm the full number, because remember, I only had the last four.
Yeah.
Now you're going to give me the full account because he just said, oh, this guy knows me, and he transferred me to his wholesale department, and this guy's legit. And would you also like my social security? Oh, yes, sir, Mr. AJ. Can you please provide that for me too? And there you go. Now I got that, your birthday and all that. And then bam, there you go. So that's why they were able to pay you this much on appointments, because it was basically a done deal.
Yeah.
By the time they got it, they're like, dude, this guy already gave everything, and I had already called the appraiser. And this is how crazy shit was back then, bro. I would call the appraiser, and I don't know shit about this. They would just say, tell him how much the guy wants and give him the address. So I'll say Ejay Cruz wants $100,000 from his house because he wants to do, this is true story, by the way. He wants to put a Sweet 16 party like MTV for his daughter. Those are the type of fucking calls I would get, dude. No shit. I want to take out 150 because my daughter wants a party just like the MTV Sweet 16. Remember that when they used to come out? Yeah. And the appraiser will say, okay, what's the address? And they'll look it up and be like, well, they don't have that much. But tell David that for $2,500 we can make it happen. And I said, oh, David, $2,500. Then they say, okay, it's done deal. So there you go. You just had that much extra equity on your house by a simple fucking call and $2,500.
Damn.
Fucking nuts. And what's even more nuts is what they would make. Mm-hmm. So I was making $1,000. Appraiser made $2,500. Those fuckers were taking anywhere between $15,000-$16,000.
Dang. And you did all the work.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, fucking A.
So when I started figuring that shit out, I was like, wait a minute, like, how do I do that?
Yeah.
Like, how do I get there? And they're like, oh, well, now you got to go get licensed and you got to become a real estate agent. And so I started doing my homework. And one of the things that I think one of the things that the banks are so smart about, and this is why it's funny when this whole 2008 thing happened. Yes, all those that imploded, the brokerages, the mortgage brokers, was nothing compared to the shit the banks were doing. The banks really got away with a fucking slap in the hand.
Yeah.
Because the majority of the money that they were making it seem that these brokers were making, it was tremendous. But what the banks were fucking doing was even more insane. And so they would send these hot-ass chicks to the office. And remember, these are all young kids, bro, that are pitching these products. Mm-hmm. And they're just driven. They get excited with the nice car stuff. They'll come and say, hey, our top 5 producers this week was AJ, JP, Adam, Roland, and Ali. So you guys have a full trip paid to Vegas on a limo and fucking at a penthouse here. And you guys each get $2,000 to spend.
Dang.
Like that's like the type of perks that you would get.
Mm-hmm.
And they would come up and say, well, we got this new product now that it's this 1% only and this and that, and the payout is this much. And so I always would be the one that would ask questions. Yeah, well, if they're only paying 1% and the balance is this much, that means that the majority of the payment is not going to the balance. In fact, it's being negative. How does that work? And then they couldn't answer it. They'd be like, oh.
All your colleagues like, yeah.
They'd be like, well, it's not for everybody. I'm like, well, you just said that that's what we should be pitching.
Yeah.
And so clearly you're telling us to pitch it to everybody. And so that was short lived. I remember I only saved up to like 80 grand. I said, nah, dude, I got to get out of this because
this sketch.
This is definitely sketch. And aside of the fact that they had a music studio next door,
Mm-hmm.
was also pretty sketch.
Mm-hmm.
So there was always weed smell everywhere and, people humping and doing all this shit while I had clients next door. It was just not working.
Yeah.
So I remember I saved those 80 grand and I moved it to a marine partner of mine who developed homes. And this is where I really got into the whole real estate good aspect of it because I said, well, wow. Now, I remember I used to draw. I wanted to be an architect. I know the financial side of it now. Shit, now I actually get to build them. Now I get to learn the process, right? And so, although this was one of the most tragic times in my life, it was one of the best lessons I ever learned because this is now getting towards 2008 and this guy completely lied to us, took my money, so lost everything completely. It's also where I met my wife. She used to work for me. I was in the process of firing her when I walked up and saw her, and I was like, "Ooh, no, we want to keep her."
I love it.
And so I started
Story to tell your kids.
and so I started doing calls for her so I could keep her numbers up because I hired her as a telemarketer at the time. And so, but yeah, dude, the guy completely fucking booked it, took the money, fucking took everything. I was dead broke now. I had lost everything, and then my wife got pregnant, and so now we're like, fuck, what are we gonna do? So I remember we lived in my truck for about a week until I fucking had to hustle something to get an apartment in Long Beach. And this is where shit just fucking got crazy for me, bro. And I speak about this with veterans because PTSD, it's fucking crazy. And this is really when it hit me because I had such a great high. I had experienced such great moments with with making money and fucking having the first taste of money and having an understanding of wow, like this is possible, that I felt that nothing was ever going to change. I felt that wow, I'm here, things can only go better.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest mistake you could ever think. And that's when I always talk about getting comfortable, that's exactly what it fucking is. You get comfortable. I got complacent. I felt like it could only get better from here, can't get worse. And life doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Life is the fucking opposite. And here I learned a lot from that experience, moving money, investing, business partner, and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's what cost me to hit the lowest of the low because now I have nothing. Now I'm dead broke. Now I got a kid in the way. Now I'm thinking like, holy shit, that conversation that I had with my dad. And now I can't even fucking live up to what I expected of me when becoming a father, a husband. Like, I don't have a house. I don't fucking have the money. I don't have nothing. Like, I'm a fucking complete fucking failure, right?
Yeah.
And it was a fucking tough time, bro. And I remember studying for my exam. I get my exam, and no brokerage wanted to fucking hire me. And
how come they want to hire you?
Dude, one in specific, and I'm going to call this motherfucker out because I'm pretty sure he's fucking bankrupt now. It was right there in Long Beach off of the 405 freeway, Century 21. He made me pay for the principals. I think I paid like almost $400. And he said, yeah, once you pass your test, you can come work here. And once I passed my test, I showed up and he calls me inside. And I didn't have money, bro. I was fucking broke at this time. And I remember I only had slacks and somewhat of a dressing shirt. And he calls me inside his office. And I walked in and I was so excited because I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to start working. I'm going to start doing real estate, right? And he calls me in there and he says, yeah, I don't think this is going to work. I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not an employee. I'm in commission, bro. Like, give me a shot. And he said, no, it's just tattoos. You're bald, Marine. Like, have you considered being a security guard or a cop?
Wow.
And I was just like, bro, normally I would react pissed and mad. I was fucking, that was like one of the last moments. Bro, I was like literally hanging by a thread.
Yeah.
And to hear that, it was like a punch in the fucking stomach.
Yeah.
Like I felt so small. I felt embarrassed. I felt Dude, every fucking, I remember I got in my borrowed car. I think my sister-in-law had let us borrow a car because they repoed my truck at that point. And I remember getting in that borrowed car and I fucking cried so hard, bro.
Yeah.
Like I cried like I have never cried before.
Yeah.
And when I was crying, I would feel this fucking pain. Like it was just the worst fucking feeling ever, dude. I just felt like everything had just fallen on me.
Do you think it just took another level of failure? Like it took it to like the next level
Dude,
already,
you gotta
right?
remember already I was fucking down.
Yeah.
And it's like getting kicked while you're down and then another fucking kick and then the motherfucker jumps on top of you.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember going to the ocean because I lived in Long Beach. And I was looking and I was just like, well, I got another interview tomorrow. Hopefully that's going to go good. And so I remember going to that next interview. The guy basically is, oh, sorry, we don't. This guy was at least honest. He's like, oh, dude, I just, we're fully booked right now. We can't take another agent. And I was just like, I'm pretty sure I had to do with my look, to be honest.
Yeah.
And that was it, bro. Like, I fucking broke. I remember I went, got big old fucking bottle of Bacardi. That was my drink, Bacardi and Coke. And fucking, I got home and I'm drinking. And then I see there's mail. And I get the mail. I open it. One that's in United States Marine Corps. So I'm hoping, like, fuck, hopefully there's a check for me or something. Like,
Yeah.
God,
Give me something.
Anything,
Throw me a
dude.
bone.
Bro, this is at the point, bro, I'm telling you, like, we used to collect quarters, pennies. Like, it was fucking embarrassing, bro. Like, I would fucking... And, I have to give it to my wife. I love her so much because throughout this whole time, she never complained. She stood there.
Yeah.
And I used to go to 7-Eleven, steal fucking whatever I could, and she would eat it. Like, I would not eat so she could eat. And any little stuff that we could get, it was like quesadillas. That's why I fucking hate quesadillas now. Don't ever fucking give me... Dude, it was fucking quesadillas with cheese, quesadillas with ketchup, quesadillas with tapatio, quesadillas with another type of cheese. Like, just no more fucking quesadillas, dude, ever. And, dude, so I'm sitting there and I open it and it was actually my my life insurance from the Marines. It basically just said that, hey, if you want to proceed keeping it, there's a fee. We're not going to pay for it no more. It's this much, but you have a life insurance coverage of $150,000. And I sat there, bro, and for a minute, I just felt like, wow, this is my way out. Like, this is my solution to all this problem. Like, can my family live with $150,000? Hell yeah. Like, this is going to change their life. This is going to be good.
Yeah.
And so I remember that I read everything carefully that it said, how I had to die, if anything. And it didn't specify anything. So I'm like, okay, I think I'm good. And I remember I fucking started playing Knocking on Heaven's Door. That was my song. And fucking just played it over and over. My wife went to sleep. I kissed my son goodnight. And I fucking cried like a fucking baby, dude. I fucking cried and cried. And I was fucking drinking. And I was just like, you're such a fucking failure. You're such a fucking failure. Like, you fucking failed. Like, you fucking talk shit about your dad. You became worse than your dad. Like, what the fuck? Why don't you have a house? Why don't you have this? Like, I just fucking started beating on me so bad that I remember once I almost got to the end of the bottle, I fucking got my gun, put the bullet in there, put it inside, and then put it in my head. And for some reason, it did not go off. Yeah. And that's when I
you pulled the trigger and it didn't go off, or you just didn't.
No, dude, I pulled it. I think it was a jam.
Wow.
Or I didn't load the magazine well. To this day, I mean, I don't even question it. It's sort of like, God has a weird way of showing you things, and
it just didn't happen. That's all. It
just didn't happen, dude. And I'm like, whatever it was, man. Because right when I did that, I remember I fucking cried even harder. And then my son was on his one suit, whatever this pajama was, a blue one. I'll never forget this. And he came out. He's like, Dad, are you okay? And I was just like, oh my God, dude. I fucking ran to him. I hugged him. And I said, I fucking promise you that regardless what, I'm going to make this family the best fucking family. I'm going to fucking do whatever it fucking takes. Yeah. And that's really when I pivoted, dude. I pivoted to a whole different level. I remember that, and that's what I was telling you that I don't share often. And me and Jay had a conversation about that because the first time I actually shared that was in live TV for Fox Sports. Yeah. And I sort of got fucking pushed against the wall to it. I had briefly spoke to it about Jay, just because there was a veteran that was going through a situation, and I felt that me just kind of bringing that up was going to help him, and it did. He shared that to the producer, and we're here talking about this program, everything's going great, and then the producer goes, tell me about the time you tried to kill yourself. And I was just like,
You're like, what the fuck?
Bro.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is my family didn't know about it. My kids, my wife, and everybody was watching Fox Sports
Shit.
live.
Yeah.
So everybody got to hear the whole thing live on TV, and I was fucking raging. I was pissed. But then that's when Jay's like, dude, you gotta embrace those fucking scars, dude. That's
Yeah.
you don't know how many people you just help with sharing that.
Yeah.
And I'm okay opening up about him now. It does upset me at times because now the way that I think, I go back and I'm like, wow, how did I get that low? I mean, you could fucking take everything away from me right now and I'll fucking come back even fucking harder, dude.
Yeah.
I could go broke again and I'll fucking still fucking kill it. Like,
Because you've been there before.
yeah,
You know what I'm
that
saying?
now is not a fucking, it's the whole different fucking animal, dude. And it brought a beast out of me that relentless as fuck, dude. And so I do get upset because I never want nobody, or especially my family, close friends, to ever go that route, because there is a solution. You just gotta fucking man up and step it. And that's just the thing, bro, that like we spoke earlier, life is not ever gonna be easy, bro. It's like even now, dude, I had the best fucking 4 months of my fucking life, to be quite honest. And we're in a fucking pandemic.
Yeah.
Dude, I made more money these last 4 months than I did last year, the same fucking month. And we're in a fucking lockdown, wearing fucking masks and wearing bubble suits.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Right? But at the same time, have I had issues? Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking 3 almost lawsuits. Fucking, I got a client right now who's driving me fucking nuts over the most stupidest shit. It just fucking, I got another issue right now in the property I was telling you about. That shit is always gonna be there. The good thing is that you become better at fucking solving problems. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Solve for X. And the more you fucking become successful, the better and the faster you are with just thinking and knowing, okay, this is how you fucking fix that.
Yeah.
You know? And our problem's only gonna get bigger.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. You think Sharon fucking wakes up and is like, oh, my client's fucking mad at me? Fuck that.
Yeah.
He's like, so I gotta move 150 million for this new acquisition or angel investing that I'm doing. How am I gonna do that? That's the fucking type of problems they have.
Yeah.
So our fucking petty little shit ain't nothing, man.
Yeah.
Like I hear people tell me, oh my God, I got hit by the IRS and I got to pay 30,000. I'm like, really? Because I got to pay 150. So
Yeah.
I would take your 30 any day or my 150.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's all perspective, man. And I think that moment did change a lot and change me. And I'll share with you real quick. So when that happened, I went on fucking, first book I bought was Think Big and Grow Rich. So I started reading that. How to Win Friends and Influence People. So I wanted to work on myself. I got a job. Was working at Chevron. I fucking wiggled my way in there. I showed up and they said, hey, what do you call it? So my father-in-law's in the refinery business and he's like, where are you going to go in as a labor? Basically all you do is pick up trash in the refinery, but it pays like $19 a month. So I was like, fuck it. I'll do it.
Like you just need something right now. Yeah.
But dude, I've always been a fucking hustler, you know, I'm telling you. So I show up and I'm looking around. I'm like, dude, fucking picking up trash, really, JP? I'm still like, fuck, this is what it came down to? Like, really? Like, all that shit? And then the lady comes out, it's like, who's here for the supervisor position? And I'm looking around, I'm like, and then she goes, okay. And she goes, come here. And so I walk in there. I'm like, well, two things are going to happen. Either I'm going to fucking get it or I'm going to get fucked here. So I show up and they put a test in me and I start looking. I'm like, oh shit, this is blueprints. And I knew how to read blueprints because of fucking high school and I had a scholarship to Otis. So it was basically elevations, blueprints. And I'm like, fucking, and common safety shit. So I'm like, bam. So I get it. And off the bat, they're like, yeah, you're a foreman. You're hired as a supervisor.
Wow.
And I'm like, what am I supervising?
Like, yeah, I'll take this job, but wait, what exactly am I doing?
Dude, so check this shit out, bro. So the pay was good. They started me off at $35 an hour. And I show up to the site and it's at Chevron in El Segundo. And dude, that's a very fucking special industry. They fucking, when you talk about they all have their own little fucking cliques, they fucking do, bro. Because I walked in, everybody's like, who the fuck is this motherfucker? So I had to start dropping names, right? And since my wife's family, they're heavily on the refinery, I'm like, oh, I know so-and-so. I know so-and-so. They're like, oh, shit. Like, all right, this guy fucking knows. And they're pretty high up there, right? So they tasked me to a cooling tower. Cooling towers, what it is these big blocks that you see in the refineries that have the big round fans on the top. Okay. And what they do is they cool water. So I'm not cool water. The water cools the pipes. So any excessive high fucking temperature pipes that are running some sort of a product, that's what it runs to cool it, right? So the one thing about, thinking, not thinking grow rich, how to win friends and influence people is that it tells you sometimes you got to listen to everybody before you communicate. And I said, oh, this is perfect because I don't know shit about this. And I got to drop cement here. And the only time I ever dropped cement was on my foot by accident. So I'm like, holy shit, now I got to. So I remember we're all sitting there. They have the blueprints there. All the supervisors are there. Every supervisor has a task. You got the rebar guy. You got the woodworkers. And then me, that I'm supposed to be doing like the bottom right and checking the slurry and all the shit. I'm like, fuck. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, shaking my shin. I'm like, so what do you think? And then the guy goes, well, look, I think we should do this approach, this and that. I'm like, And what do you think? And the guy's like, oh, well, maybe we should do this and plan it this way better. So then they started sort of going at it like, well, this is better, this is da 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 da. And then finally they come to a conclusion. I'm like, all right, that worked. So I go, what do you guys think here? He's like, well, this should be over here and this should be done this. And I'm like, I like that. Okay, guys, well, that sounds good. Let's just do that. All right, thanks. And then moved out. And I built my first cooling tower without knowing shit about cooling towers. So, again, I was that one motherfucker that night I would go home. I went to Home Depot. I bought a thing that measures the type of slurry, the pressure on it. I bought that shit. So I bought a little package. So I was doing it at home, mixing it. So I knew what to look for. I bought a book. I bought an engineering book. I still have that book to this day. I read up on trigonometry again. Like every fucking night I was doing shit. So every time I go, if I ever got tested or had to put in a position where, well, what do you think? And I had to fucking do something. I did it right.
Yeah.
It wasn't always perfect, but at least it was good enough for them to say, oh, that was good, but maybe you should try this one. But like, oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And that's what got me through it to the point that when I had enough money, I think I raised like 20 grand fast, real quick. And I said, fuck that. My goal was 20 grand and get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out and then I'll go back to real estate, right? And I got my 20 grand. The project was over. The main project manager calls me and says, dude, we're so happy with you that we want you to oversee another site now. And the pay is going to be double of what you're making right now.
Damn.
And I was just like, nah, I can't, man.
Yeah.
I was like, I got bigger goals.
Tempted, but you're just like, nah.
No, I didn't even question it. I was just like, nope, I got to go. Can I please leave? The guy's like, no, like, what else can we do? And I remember that I left and I had those 20 grand. We went to, where did we go to eat? We went to, what's it called? It's in Long Beach by the, Joe's Crab Shack. We had a good fucking dinner, the best fucking dinner for a long time. And yeah, dude, that's sort of how it started. So once that happened, I ended up driving back again to Sunset Strip where my mom would always clean. I grew up in Hollywood, right? And I would always drive up the Bird Streets, Doheny, all that to get inspired. I would drive up the hills and look at these amazing architectural homes and look at the view and be like, wow, like this is possible. And during this time, Entourage was out, so I fucking loved Entourage.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dude, this is life. Like I need to get here. And I'm driving down, I think it was off of Doheny. And right when I bank a left, there's a Cobo banker there. And I said, fuck it, dude. The only way I'm ever going to fucking get exposed to any of this is if I'm working here. I got to.
Yeah.
And prior to that, I had closed one deal with a great lady, Anne-Marie, rest her in peace. She passed away. Amazing lady, dude. She took me in. She said, I'll help you out. She was giving me half of whatever deal I did, but she was like, she had such a big business that she didn't need to advertise. She didn't have a website. Just her Rolodex was that big. Mm-hmm. And she's like, yeah, I'll just help you out. I'll do all the paperwork. You just got to show up and get your check. So I did one deal. A good veteran friend of mine bought a house for $150,000, bro. And she did everything. She gave me a check. So I was like, fuck yeah. So I'm excited. So now I'm driving down. I'm on Sunset. I turn and I said, well, if I'm ever going to fucking get exposed to this, I have to fucking be here. I got to be in this environment, right? Yeah. So I parked the car. I walked in there and I said, I want to interview with the broker. Like, who are you again? I'm like, JP Pena. Who?
I'm like, who?
I'm like, well, she's like, do you have an appointment? I'm like, no, I don't have an appointment. And then she's all like, well, typically, if you're going to come here, we need an appointment. We can't just let you in. And I'm just like, fuck. So I'm like, no, like, please just let me interview with the manager or whatever. So I started making a little bit of a fuss. And then Fran Hughes, never forget her, she comes out. And to this day, by the way, she's my manager. And she comes out and she goes, well, what's going on? And Melissa, I'll never forget, she's like, well, this guy right here wants to just come in and interview, and we're telling him that it doesn't work that way. And she's like, well, come in. And so she takes me in and she goes, okay, so what do you want to do? I'm like, well, I want to work here. I want to work here. I want to fucking sell $1 million homes. I'm going to fucking kill it. And and she goes, well, what did you do last year? I go, 150. And she goes, 150 in commissions. Wow, that's pretty good. I'm like, no, that's how much the house was that I sold.
Yeah. Like, no.
And then I remember that she was writing. She got excited when I said 150. And then when I said, no, that's how much the house, I remember she's like, oh. And she went like, dropped the pen, like, oh, bro. Like,
it's like, shit.
She goes, look, the average agent here makes 250 plus.
Yeah.
Like, son, you're a long way. Maybe we could work on getting you. And I'm like, look. And I remember I finally said, look, man, I'm like, I was a Marine. I said, I'm a fucking hard worker. Like, if you give me a blueprint, I will execute. That's all I need. I'm pleading, like, just give me a chance. Like, I want an opportunity. And she started getting, like, teary-eyed. And I was like, what the fuck? And she's like, my son was a Marine, and he died in Afghanistan. And she said, I don't care what you did last year. I'm bringing you under my wing. That year, I sold $2.5 million in real estate.
Damn.
The next year, I sold $5 million. The next year after that, I did $8 million. Ever since then, I've been fucking just scaling up.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And that's how I fucking started real estate.
Dang.
What a fucking story, right?
I know. Damn. That's crazy. So she took you under your wing.
Yeah.
Or under her wing, just like you just dropped by, right?
Yeah,
you
dude.
Just dropped
it was nothing planned, and ever since then, I've been in different brokerages. I've been doing this now 15 years, bro. And it's funny how I ended up back with her, and with Compass now, and I've been with Douglas Elliman. I work together with Josh Outman. Pretty sure you guys know, $1 million listing. I sold multi-million-dollar homes. I sold architectural homes. I've done developments. I flip homes myself, and it's sort of like all that exposed me to everything that came after. And it's crazy how if it wasn't for that single experience that broke me down,
of course,
to that point, and all those rejections that happened, who knows what the fuck I would have been doing, you know? And the crazy thing is that in real estate, it's a lot more sexier when you have skin in the game. I'll tell you that. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that I fucking mastered, because a lot of agents, they go being transactional, meaning that, well, I want to make this much a year and I'm cool. Like, I used to go to all these real estate summits and, conferences, and the main speaker will come up and be like, hey, let's give it up to Ejay Cruz, 70 years old and still a top producer. I'm like, fuck that. At 70 years old, I will not be fucking selling real estate, right?
Yeah.
Like, dude, my goal is at 40, and I'm putting it out there. I'm 40, I better be dominating so much that I got at least 4 other fucking avenues of income coming in.
Yeah.
And then you're going to catch me in a fucking yacht somewhere in Miami.
Yeah.
That's the fucking goal, right? But that's what you got to think, and that's what you got to work for. And a lot of agents, it's not only really agents, it's just just entrepreneurs in general, is that they always get to that comfort zone in which they feel like, well, I'm good. I'm making good money right now. This is good. This is better than what I was. Yeah. Let me sort of chill out and then see what happens. But no, dude, you got to continue fucking testing yourself and putting it out there, especially right now with the pandemic, bro. Like, how many people are not fucking getting laid off? How many people wish they had an opportunity? How many people have the opportunity? I mean, you guys are doing a fucking great movement right now. LFG fucking causing some fucking noise. Why do people don't jump on it? Because it's that comfort.
Yeah.
That ability of, let me wait and see what happens. Let me see if it works first. Mm-hmm. You go do it and then come tell me how it went. Yeah. Right? That defense fucking mode. And you can't do that because winners motherfucking play offense, dude.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant, dude, motherfucking dominated in offense. That's why. Mm-hmm. He called the shots. He was that motherfucker that when people walk in, they drop. That's how fucking badass he was.
Yeah.
That's what you got to become. And everybody has that ability to do so. Some others than all. I'll tell you that. Yeah. Some motherfuckers are born with it. Ali fucking came out the wound fucking screaming, woo! that guy's fucking crazy like that. Yeah. But for the majority of the people, you got to work towards that. I didn't have that. I didn't grow up with that. I got friends, bro, that, this is a true story, but I got my boy Chad. Shout out to him, dude. No social media, no nothing. Dude's worth about $12 million. I knew this guy was going to make money from elementary. He used to sell his mom's cookies at lunch.
Yeah.
Like that.
They just had it in them, all right?
Dude, and I'm like, what? Dude, let's go fucking play. He goes, no, I'm not going to go until I sell these fucking 2 cookies. Mm-hmm. And after he sold the cookies, he would go. That's the same motherfucker that when we were in high school, had the sickest fucking ride with the rims, with the kickers, 12 inches in the back, and fucking money. By the time he got out of high school, he had a fucking house.
Yeah.
And then he started a used cell phone fucking business. Became the second largest used cell phone distributor in Central and South America
Damn.
by the age of 23. What the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
At 23, I was still fucking perfecting jacking off. Like, dude.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, for real.
But that's what it is. But you know, also it's our association at the time.
Of course.
Like,
yeah.
dude, as a Marine, and Roland will fucking tell you this, or any veteran you ever deal with, it's like nobody fucking thinks about that shit, man. It's like we're like in that whole live the moment, enjoy the moment, live life now. You know, you might die tomorrow, so
Yeah.
fucking go all out. The question becomes, what if you don't fucking die today? What are you gonna do tomorrow?
That's a self-sabotage mentality, in my opinion.
It is, bro. And it's stupid. And that's why I don't understand these kids nowadays when they're like the whole YOLO or this whole fucking like no, like you know, and I try to help as much as people, bro. But sometimes it's just you just can't have conversations with.
You extend your arm so much, also, that there's only so much you can. Like, they're not gonna budge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
until life hits them, kind of like how life hit you. Feel me?
But the crazy thing is that some of these people, even when life hits them, they just okay with it. They just say, "Well, fuck it. That's God's choice."
Yeah.
And that's the fucking thing that pisses me off. It pisses me off the most when people say, "Well, God wanted it that way," you know, or "This is what God wanted for me." And I sit there, and I'm like, "Bullshit! God didn't sit there and say, this is gonna be AJ's life." No,
Yeah.
God gives you options.
Yeah. It's a test.
God says, "Hey, AJ, these are your fucking options."
Yeah.
Same options that JP, that fucking Sharon, that Brad, that fucking all these fucking successful people have. The question becomes, some are gonna be easy, some are gonna be hard, some are gonna have a lot of fucking bumps. This one has a lot of hills. This one right here is gonna fucking hurt. Which one do you want to take? Oh, I want the easy one.
Yeah.
Well, then there you go.
Yeah. And that's the same thing with this pandemic. It's kind of bringing some light into the people that, one, they weren't prepared for something, uncertainty, but also it's kind of like they're letting uncontrollable events like just take over their life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's sometimes things that you can't control, but it's your choice to be the victim or not.
Exactly. You know what's crazy, bro? Before the pandemic started, we had about, I would say, close to 10 million in escrow, right? It was going to be a fucking amazing year. And so we're getting prepared for this, and I don't know where, bam, it's like I start seeing it. Like, shit's happening. We're getting locked down. Da-da-da. So the first thing, and this is where people think differently, man. I said, I have two options here. One, I could sit here and fuck, dude. Shit's going to happen. We're in lockdown. Fucking put some boards up. Fucking stay in my fucking house and, holy shit.
Yeah.
Fucking Armageddon. Or how do we fucking fix this shit? How do we prepare the impact? What's my plan B? What's my plan C? What's like my next fucking steps that I have to take to fucking prepare for this? So I get on the phone. I get an economic friend of mine. I get a client of mine who's a hedge fund manager in New York. I got another realtor in there, a title rep, a fucking financial advisor. I get like all these people on the line, and I said, guys, what do you fucking know? What are you seeing? How are you preparing? How can we prepare? What can we expect? Like fucking straight mastermind. Dude, that call went for 3 hours at 6 a.m. in the morning. That's fucking nuts. This is the mentality that people that want to succeed think versus the other ones that want to run and create chaos and fucking, oh my God, the fucking sky's falling shit, right? No, fuck that. We sat there, we mastermind. I took notes, I wrote down, I said, I like that approach. Great. Oh, that means everything's going to go virtual. Great. I've been using Zoom already, so good. Maybe I should start introducing that to my clients. The first thing I did is send out an email to all my clients. I said, moving forward, Zoom is going to be the next big thing for communication. I'll tell you why. You're not touching nobody. You're doing this. Bam. I would say 70% of them responded like, wow, JP, this is amazing. Thank you so much. I needed this. Wow, I just put this out for my company because they had no idea about this. Oh, this and that. And so it's like off the bat, you're creating value.
Yeah.
You're creating value. And that's what fucking caused all the deals that I have now happen. Because they realize, oh, fucking JP called me pride this value. He did this and that. Great. Yeah. That's the guy you want to work with. Call him. Do this and that.
He'll figure shit out when shit hits the fan.
Exactly, man. And that's the big difference when it comes to having that open mindset and fucking playing offense versus sitting back and waiting for a fucking government handout, bro.
Yeah.
And it's funny because once that happened, I would say 3 days later, I would say 95% of my escrows canceled.
Damn.
But I was already prepared, bro. I was like, hey, cool. In fact,
You're anticipating it, but then you're planning at the same
Yeah,
time.
in
Yeah,
fact, I remember we had some crab legs in the freezer. I took them out. We had a fucking amazing dinner that day. And my
yeah.
wife is all like, "Are you fucking nuts? Like, fucking the world's like going to shit, and you're here cooking like crab legs and steak and all that." And I said, "Oh, this is gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited." I said, "This is gonna be good. You know why? Because a lot of motherfuckers are gonna be out of the business.
Yeah.
There's gonna be more fucking people telling me. So tomorrow's gonna be a long fucking day." The next day, I started cold calling.
Yeah.
Yes, I got my ass chewed out. Some people are like, "Are you fucking serious? You seriously calling me right now if I want to sell my house on the fucking pandemic?"
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, but hey, you got to do what you fucking got to do, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the thing. So,
Some people are shaking their head and they're like this, and then the other people like you and like me, they're like, we're rubbing our hands. You know what
dude,
I'm saying?
in situations like this, that's when the best opportunities come. And I saw it in 2008. I wish I could have been a part of it. Unfortunately, I wasn't. Now I'm fucking more prepared, dude. I've been doing bigger moves. Partner with my cousin. We got some investors in. We're fucking, we bought CBD. We bought 20 acres. We're fucking this. I think I've been more productive. That's why I need a break, bro, because I've been fucking 7 days fucking just
Yeah.
like,
Same.
dude, I got fucking money in my mind right now. Like right now, there's going to be big shit happening, man. You got to remember, look, before this whole happened, I made an offer on a 9-unit retail center in Oxnard, right? The guy had it listed for $1.5 million. It's anchored by a mom and pop 99-cent store, which is normally what you want, something big. It was huge, so for me it was perfect. And 3 of the units were empty already, right? I made him an offer at $950, right? Right, I would say like 3 weeks before March, he calls me and says, "You still interested at $950?" I said, "Let me think about it."
Yeah.
And bam, the pandemic happened, right? So it's outside, bro, because I would have been fucked. But think about all the retail business and how this is going to affect it. Shit's going to start changing.
Yeah.
And the people that figure it out, that have an understanding of what's going to change, how do you catch it first? How do you fucking monetize that? How do you take advantage of that? Dude, you're going to fucking kill it.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of fucking money out there being made. There's people fucking making money already on other shit. Like those Amazon distributors. They're fucking killing it, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking insurance. Everybody wants insurance now. They're realizing, fuck, people do die. No shit.
Yeah.
And are you covered? Because there's fucking expenses.
Yeah.
Like, my wife's in the insurance business, right? She had to give out her first fucking death payout.
Wow.
And that shit was that was an eye awakening for her.
Yeah.
And we have life insurance. We had life insurance even before she was an insurance agent. But I always believed on it because when I was in the military in those last 4 years that I did, I used to bury fucking Marines, people that would die in Iraq. And you'd be surprised how many of these were underinsured. It's sad that you have somebody that died in combat in the military saying, "Well, we're only going to pay for a funeral, and here's $5,000 for your cost."
And that's it.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And then the families are like, "Wait, well, he had kids, he had family, they had this. Well, oh yeah, he has his SLI life insurance from the military, and that's only $100,000.
Yeah.
That's not shit, bro.
Yeah. And the family you paid the ultimate sacrifice too.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy how people have that bad mentality, but it's also great in the aspect that there's individuals like yourself that are out there putting out the right information and showing people how they can leverage insurance and showing them how they could properly invest in themselves, be better prepared, know how to understand their 401k better, which is one of the biggest things. In fact, true story today. Fuck, I keep on saying true story. I should fucking monetize that. I have a call this morning. And the ladies are like, "I've been trying to buy a house, and I'm just so sorry that I think I won't be able to do it." And I said, "Why?" She goes, "Well, she lost so much in her 401k when this whole thing started that they won't let her take out money right now.
Oh, shit.
So whatever she was gonna use for that down payment is basically stuck."
Yeah.
And that's bullshit, bro. That's your own money, but somebody else tells you how to control it and how to use it.
Yeah.
Not only that, you get penalized for it.
Yep.
See, so it's important to have people like yourself that could educate them and show them other ways of using that, utilizing that, moving it somewhere else that's going to make more sense. But it all takes them wanting that information and also exposing. So I think right now, dude, it's a great fucking time for opportunities for people to fucking try anything, man. Whatever business it is that you want to do, whether you think it's dumb or not, just fucking do it, because chances of something sticking is very possible right now.
Yeah. Dude, I feel I've been more busy during the pandemic than I was when the pandemic, it wasn't even in effect, and society didn't shut down. I feel more busy now, real talk. It's crazy, again, what you said. you have a choice. You have a choice to be part of a solution, or you have a choice to be just a victim of things you can't control. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think that the majority part of that is? Is it your upbringing and family values, or continues to be your environment that you associate with?
I think it's more the environment, right? Because people could change. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, your upbringing plays a huge part of who you are, right? Your confidence, and me and you both struggled with that too, right? Always feeling like we could never be at that level, or it's never enough. But at the same time, that could improve and that could change dramatically. So I always preach this as well. Association's key. You know that, even in regards to who you surround yourself with, but just your overall environment, right?
And I feel that that's the hardest for people to let go, because there's that sense of secureness, the sense of, well, you know me, we're cool, man. It's like you're the one I could go talk to when I have a problem. We could have a drink.
Yeah.
But is that always the right solution, though?
Yeah. At the end of the day, people, it's always a self reflection. You're always a self reflection of the people you hang around with, or the stuff that you tolerate.
Correct.
Huge believer in that, right? So, for instance, for me, I'm big on my time right now and how I use it efficiently. So, for people who take advantage of my time or don't respect it, I tell myself, like, self reflection, kind of like what you do, right? I tell myself, like, well, dude, this is a self reflection of the type of people that I'm attracting. And what does that say about my time? There has to be something that's saying that, hey, maybe I don't value other people's time too.
Yeah.
Right. So, or maybe I don't value my time enough. Correct. Right. And I'm attracting these people. So it's just exactly like that. But to answer your question, I think it's both. Yeah. A little bit both. But I think you can change that. You know what I mean? Just based off your environment, who you hang out with, and, experience too. And,
have you ever, you dealt with Sharon when he does his timing. That guy's fucking straight on his timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I talk to him, it'd be like he'll send me, which in fact I downloaded it, the Calendly app.
Yeah.
So it tells you, no, we got 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or 60 minutes to talk. Jeez.
Yeah.
So I apply that to my clients now, and it's crazy because sometimes I'll send it out to my clients. They'll be like, are you serious?
They're like, who are you?
I'm like, no, I am serious. Yeah. I'm sorry. But not only that.
Like, am I trying to get an appointment with The Rock? You know what I'm saying?
No, dude, but it actually helps. I'll sit there and I'll be like, hey, I got 15 minutes. And what I noticed is that the majority after are like, wow, I actually respect that.
Yeah.
And I was on a call today at 10:30 with the client. That was actually the 401k person.
Yeah.
And she's a nurse. And this is how fucked up that situation is, because not a nurse, I'm sorry, a teacher. Normally they put them on a 403b, which is for nurses. I mean, fuck, why I keep on saying teachers? And they've switched it over to a 401k.
Interesting.
Which is weird. But we're talking, and she's the one that basically called me out on it. She's like, oh my gosh, we only have a minute left with your call. She goes, do you want me to reschedule another 30-minute with you, or we're okay?
Yeah.
So they appreciate that. They see the value, and they're like, wow, okay, you're busy. You have other people you're helping. This is okay,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think putting that self-respect and that self-worth, it's very important. Mm-hmm. And it's something that we're not taught that.
Yeah. I think also just not even with time organization, but efficiency, right? Like something I spoke with Sharon too was the fact that, like, hey, sometimes you could just dedicate like an hour, even 30 minutes into something, but it is like non-negotiable. Like, you fucking attack that thing.
Yeah.
Right? No distractions, no fucking phone, no fucking, you know what I mean? Like, that is just dedicated towards that time. And you'll be surprised, you could knock out 1 week worth of stuff if you just like maybe attacked it with like 1 hour of just pure fucking offense.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying?
I think that's what I need to work on the most. Like my social media posting and all that shit is off the. I don't think it's a priority for me. That's why. Maybe I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Sharon would say the opposite, because I'm working with his team on my marketing stuff. But it's just the whole thing that I have to post something every day. It just drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Like, no, I want to post something when I want to post, and that's it. I don't care who sees it, who likes it.
Yeah.
If it's engaging, great. If it touched you in some way, shape, or form, perfect. That was the goal. But I got more important shit, and I value family time, bro. Like, that is huge for me. So, when I get home after 6, I put my phone on silent. I put it away. Like, it's aside.
Yeah.
Like, I hate fucking people coming to my house too, and they're on their phone. I have a rule: if you come to my house, you put your phone on a box.
Yeah.
Yeah. and it has to stay there because you're there to talk to me, right?
Yeah, it's
So if you're
true.
talking to me or
I should implement that too. I like that.
dude, it fucking works, and you'd be surprised. That's why most people won't show up, and if they don't show up, that's good. You're like, all right, those are the people I don't want in my house.
Yeah.
And my mom, my sister are the same way. They'll show up, and no, I'm keeping my phone. I'm like, what's so important then if you're going to visit me that you still have to be on your phone? It better be a fucking big deal you're closing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or the other thing I hate is people being interviewed and on their phone too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man. I was interviewing this one guy, I'm not gonna mention names, and it's like I'm talking and we're trying to have a good discussion the whole time. He's like, yeah. Hold on. Hey JP, what's up? I'm like, motherfucker, really? Like, dude, we're recording. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's crazy, but we live in a crazy world anyway.
Yeah. So it's funny that because we had we talked about it earlier, right? We're talking about right now, like almost like being in the present, right? Like putting your phone away, right? You're here with me, but then at the same time, when is it that fine line when some people are just like living now, but then like, yo, well, if you live longer, like you got to start planning for that too, right?
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So there's like almost that fine line, like, yo, should I be, live my life and just, live life right now and be in the present, but at the same time it's kind of like, okay, yeah, I guess you feel that way because you could die tomorrow, but then like, yo, what happens if you don't fucking die tomorrow?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I think the way that you should look at it, because I love all the nice things, bro. I love fast cars. So, I love the nice things. I like to pamper myself. I like to pamper my family.
Of course.
That's all great, and I think that's stuff that you live at the moment now because you enjoy it. It's really more the purpose behind all that.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll tell you a story here real quick. At one point, I was going to close the biggest deal of my life, $65 million.
Wow.
It took me almost 8 months to put this shit together. I was already dreaming of what I was going to do with this money. That's how I was going. I was like, I'm going to buy my mama a house. I'm going to fucking do this. I'm going to buy this many flips. I don't know how many times over I bought my favorite car in my dream. But anyways, I think I even got divorced. I mean, anyways, not true. My wife's going to kill me. So 8 months putting this together, right? Mm-hmm. I finally, through good connections, I think I'm a good dot connector, and I've been good with a lot of people that, a lot of times they come through for me, and they said, I'm going to put you in contact with this person. He was actually one of the partners for Fashion Island in Newport Beach.
Nice.
So we meet in Newport, get there early. I show up. I'm sitting there. He shows up on this whole fucking gym gear because he just finished Pilates. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, what the fuck, right? And we're sitting in this restaurant, and he's like, order your food. So I'm like, okay. So I order my food. I'm all prepared. I'm like starting to sweat, but I'm like, fuck yeah, I got this. I had my fucking iPad ready, my stats, everything, right? Mm-hmm. So he goes, all right, go ahead, start. Just like that, bro. Very straightforward.
Yeah.
These people are very strict with their time. They're like, we only had an hour there, bro. So he's like, get your food, da-da, and go ahead. Because I got some shit to do, right? And so, bam, off the bat, I started going, da-da-da, fucking da-da-da. Dude, I don't think it was not even a minute, bro, where he shuts me down.
Yeah?
He's just like, stop. Mm-hmm. He goes, you're not ready for this. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, what the fuck? And I look at my boy Julio, and Julio looks at me like, and he goes, well, and I'm like, hold on. I go, so, I mean, what did I do wrong, and what can I better prepare myself? Like, how can I?
Feedback, give me feedback.
Just like, what did I do? And he goes, let me tell you something. He goes, I know why you're here. This would be pretty most likely your biggest deal ever. I researched you. I know what you've done, what you sold. He goes, but what got me here is not the reason why I pursued it. So somewhere along that line. So I was just like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. And he goes, I've been divorced 4 times. Mm-hmm. I'm married now. He goes, I have 5 kids total. 4 of them don't talk to me. The one that I have now is just like a baby. I'm pretty sure my wife is with me only because of the money. He goes,
damn,
dude, straight up,
straight to let it out. He goes,
everything that I started doing, what I did, is no longer here, and what I kept was just all the material and the status. Mm-hmm. He goes, if I could do everything over, I would have done it with purpose to create inner wealth, not to please somebody else. Mm-hmm. And I sit there, I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Like, I don't understand shit. Like, this guy, what my shit fucked up or what? Like, tell me, right? The whole thing was he was getting at me that I was chasing a paper on this. Yeah. Clearly, I wasn't prepared. Could I have brought somebody else in that maybe would have known better and would have split that commission? Yes. Could have I done a little bit more homework? Yes. could have. Yes, there's a bunch of fucking could haves. But in the end, when my boy started talking about the stuff that I do for veterans and I started sharing that with him, he's like, that had purpose. That had meaning behind it. You see, that you're driven by it. That's going to make you a lot more success, money, happiness, and you're going to help a lot more people out than trying to fucking push something for a quick hustle that later on you give out time, family time, fucking all these great moments, memories, chasing something that in the end was what?
Yeah. What was it for? It was just the paper.
Dude, and I sat there and I thought about it. I'm like, he's so right, dude. Because at that point, like, we're in the process of getting divorced with my wife. I was just fucking stressed out a lot. I was not seeing my kids as much. We do a date night every week. We weren't doing that. Every Sunday we would go to the Grove with my kids, watch a movie, have dinner. We didn't do none of that. And I started reflecting back. I'm like, dude, that's not happiness, dude. That's not happiness whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's like, fuck, dude. I mean, I'd rather get there to wherever it is that I'm gonna fucking get. And right now, I'm frank, I'm putting this out there. I have 22 million in my head. 22 million. Whatever I gotta do to get there, as long as I'm doing it with purpose, happiness, and I'm creating inner wealth.
Yeah.
That's what I want, bro.
I love it. As long as those things are attached to then it's
then
worth it.
And you feel better when you accomplish it, bro. This, I will tell you, fuck yeah, it was exciting. It was a big number, but I wasn't fully in there, if that makes any sense.
Of course.
It was more like, how do I fucking just push this through?
Yeah.
And when you're just pushing something through, it's not giving you that result. And what's his name spoke about it too, doing it with purpose. He says a lot of times people just wait until they do it purpose, but sometimes you fucking just getting in there and just fucking try to find it, you will find that purpose. And that's what it took for me to realize that when I had this conversation with this gentleman. Now we're great friends. Calls me once in a while, hey man, how's it going? I know I gave you a hat with Veterans Hub. He's the one 100% supporting Veterans Hub on that now. So dude, I got limited access amount to investment because me changing my direction and speaking with purpose and what I want to accomplish versus me going in there and just trying to push something through.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome, man. Dude. Well, hey, man, we're running out of time here. You know, what? Before we close out, what's dude, you've been through hell. You've been through hell. You've reached levels of failure that you thought could never get higher, and you have. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, you had a lot of drive and a lot of motivation, you know, between the events that happened with your dad. Obviously, you had you have a beautiful family. But man, there's people out there who struggle. They dig themselves in the grave. I could relate to that too. I thought I was successful at one point, making six figures at a young age, being a nurse, getting hired at the highest paid, hospital organization. And that's similar to what you do, and your purpose is the same with mine. You know, I want to teach people not to dig themselves in that grave. Don't get complacent. Don't get comfortable, right? But I mean, what's just like that one thing that sticks out that you could tell someone that's in that, you know, digging? They're so deep in that grave, man. You know, they're like right there, kind of with, you know, where you were bawling your eyes out, and they're just at that state where they just, you know, they're ready to pull the trigger, man. Like, what's the one thing you could just tell them?
You gotta unfuck yourself. That's it, man.
Yeah.
Fucking simple, man. You gotta just dig in there, fucking have that self-talk, and just fucking completely unfuck yourself to the point where you're gonna fucking reset, because all this shit is fixable. When you hit the low, it's fixable.
Yep.
And you'd be surprised that a lot of it is mental. It's just you fucking mentally, like psychology, fucking yourself up. Me constantly saying I'm a fucking failure, I'm this and that.
It's like 90%.
Dude, what am I putting out there, right? That's me. So one of the things that I do to this day, and my kids think I'm crazy, but if I have a negative thought in my head, I'll fucking scream it out. Get the fuck out. Fuck no, it's the opposite. And my kids are like, Dad, what the hell? You know, it's just, but that's sometimes what it takes for you to fucking really, and this is why I say unfuck yourself, and that's not to really offend. It's just more of the fact that it really takes you fighting yourself. It's a competition between you and you.
Yeah,
really.
It's a war against yourself.
Yeah, that's really 100% what it is, man. And it's what you literally put yourself in and what you act upon. Also, what you put out to the universe, and then what you reflect after that. Debriefing is important. Knowing that it's okay to fuck up, and understanding how to fix that fuck up, right? So all that process is you unfucking yourself and rebuilding a newer, better fucking you.
Yeah.
And if you're willing to fucking take on that challenge, you're gonna fucking be fucking insane, amazing, a certified motherfucking badass.
Yeah. It's like, dude, I always like to tell people, it's like, man, are you doing enough? Because you say you are, but everything's against you. But it's kind of like, if you run out of oxygen, right? How much do you want that oxygen? How much does your body? Yeah, you need to breathe, right?
You're gonna fucking fight.
Yeah. So how much do you want to, I suppose, unfuck yourself, right?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
dude, that alone goes a long way. And I mentor agents now. I have a great handful of agents, and a lot of the first times that I hear while they're not succeeding, it's just bullshit excuses.
Yeah.
And that's where it really all starts. But that's all, again, part of that psychology that you keep on telling yourself nonsense. If you look at these high performers, top fucking producers, entrepreneurs, whatever it is, the way they speak, the way that they put out energy is way fucking. When Bedros was here, if you look at that interview, there's nothing about that guy's interview that shows fucking I'm chill, I'm scared, I'm not gonna. That motherfucker, it looked like he was gonna punch through that mic and still fucking go do something, right?
He carries himself and maneuvers and just like.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And that's the difference. But it doesn't mean you cannot get there. Yeah. You can. You just, again, gotta fucking have that self fucking check every fucking day. It's like going to war, bro. You gotta fucking train yourself, your mind, your body, fucking spirit, everything. And you're gonna start seeing your life slowly transform and create massive fucking breakthroughs.
Yeah, and I want to add too, he wasn't naturally like that. He started somewhere too, right?
Yeah.
He had to transition, and he completely evolved into that. You know what I mean? Just like all of us and what we're trying to do. Well, dude, man, JP motherfucking Pena, I appreciate you coming on the Parables. Do me a favor, let everyone know the best way to reach you if they want to get in contact with you, if they're feeling inspired by your story. Where can they reach you at?
Yeah, so Instagram is at DJP Pena, THEJPPNA, and same as YouTube. Any other platform will be the same. I do have a fans only, but I charge too much. Swipe up.
I love it. And by the way, one more time, your podcast, I'm going to leave in the description the link. What's your podcast
again? Yeah, it's a Unfuck Yourself. It's just pull up the JP Pen or the JP Show, and then Unfuck Yourself. It's on iTunes, Google Play. We're probably going to start doing the whole video thing. I don't fucking have time to edit that shit yet. But
we got you covered, bro.
But we got great stories. And on Fuck Yourself, it's really more about you hearing some of the struggles and obstacles that these entrepreneurs are going. So it's not just the success stories, but it's more of like having an understanding of how they brainstorm, solve for X, and good stuff. And we have some great lineups coming up. We got Patrick David. We got I got my buddy, the billionaire guy I was talking about that shut me down. We might get him up there as well. We're thinking about doing that on his yacht, which would be crazy because I don't know how that works with audio.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great, man. Good stuff.
Awesome, man. Well, guys, I appreciate you tuning into the podcast. Do me a favor. If you are listening to this and you feel that it could inspire someone or someone could be impacted by this particular episode, do me a favor. Share it with them. Also, if you're listening, take a screenshot and tag me and JP. Let us know that you're watching. If you could do me a favor also for visibility and to help to get the word out there, if you could leave a rating and write a review on Apple Podcasts, we greatly appreciate it. Parables Podcast with my boy JP Pena, which, by the way, if you are able to fucking schedule an appointment with him for him to be on your podcast on his Calendly, by the way, he will bring you cigars, man. So I appreciate you, brother.
Cubans.
Appreciate you guys. Parables Podcast, we're out of here.
Yeah.